Signals by Katlyn Argenta. Behind the one-way glass, he could have been a seminarian or a serial killer. The troubled James Dean in Rebel, the dead sure Paul Newman in HUD. Bria could not tell which, and she could not stop to ask, to find out what the hell he was doing behind the mirrored glass, pacing back and forth, while she ran off her non-stop patter about everything from Bigfoot to flying saucers the size of football fields. In her dad's day, when jockeys played records, there was time to get things done between songs, to call mom at home, to shoot the breeze with the remote station security guard. Now, as she addressed the mic, she only had time to go rummaging through the drawers below the booth mixing board to look for razor blades for splicing tape, or X-Acto knives for fending off unwelcome fans with malice aforethought from liking her warm-throated 23-year-old voice and her easy-going radio manner. Had this guy seen her autograph picture at some truck stop within 300 miles of KILR's blinking night sky broadcast tower? KILR. How frighteningly apropos those call letters were. Dad should have changed them when he purchased the station, but the station's tremendous reach across the desert to desert, that powerful signal and those letters were what he had paid for. Now, she was wondering if they were giving bad people bad ideas. A few back-to-back 60-second or even 30-second commercials would have helped now for her to demand identification from the restless stranger or to call the night deputy 42 miles away in Los Mesa. But radio spots were difficult to sell in the middle of the dark night, to pitch messages to sleepy-eyed truckers or to good-looking intruders with deep-set, dangerous eyes. Now he was approaching the glass to see if he could somehow pierce the shield of vision its mirrored pane provided. As he did, Bria thought of Rusty, the station's one-man security force, and how of all days his wife Leanne had to go into labor with their first child. He motioned as though he were knocking on the glass, but without creating a sound. Was it his way of getting her to stop without raising a ruckus with her listeners? To get her to foolishly throw caution to the windless night and unlock the broadcast booth door? An X-Acto knife at the back of the bottom drawer, maybe from her dad's last days at the killer signal from space, before the heart attack, before she was forced to take over at age 18 with no experience except years upon young years of listening to the master, her father, inform, inveigle, and intrigue his captive audience. He was smiling now. James Dean, Paul Newman from those great old movies from Dad's day, growing up near Los Mesa and dreaming big dreams of spinning Elvis and the Everly Brothers from this very spot in the middle of magic nowhere, from this now abandoned to lost dreams dance hall. James Dean, Paul Newman, but someone else she seemed to recognize but could not place. Now she wanted to pray to her dad to protect her from this charmer with the unknown intent. But she wondered, would he be there where she hoped, knowing her own mother's serious doubts? Mom would always say kiddingly that her father was ripe for a deathbed conversion, but laughed that she wondered whose bed it would be. Now, in another drawer, a razor blade from Dad's day of mending audio tape. Razor blade, X-Acto knife. Just try something, mister. Then he was turning away, turning his attention to the outside office door, opening to admit a friend of similar evil purpose. No! Bria scrambled, found a CD with an ancient public service announcement about preventing forest fires in the middle of the lonesome desert. Ha! She slipped it into the CD drawer, begged her listeners forgiveness, sprung for the booth door and opened it. Rusty was shaking hands with the handsome stranger, and the stranger was slapping Rusty on the arm like he was his younger brother. Rusty turned his attention to Bria, said simply, "It's a girl named Leah, girlie, and both her and the mom are doing just fine." "My brother has just made me an uncle," the stranger boasted to Bria, "at my age. Can you imagine?" "Bria, this is Lonnie. He's the smart one in the family that I never talk about. The one who's working for stakes and long-shot energy ventures, and he just may have landed one that's about to cook and pay dividends." "May have." That's the operative term, big brother. The guy her age smiled sheepishly. "But tonight, it's your night and Leanne's big night. They just made me an uncle. Can you believe it?" Bria broke into a smile. His was infectious. "My name is Leonard, but most everybody calls me Lonnie. Only people who don't like me call me Leonard." "Well, Bria, what's it gonna be?" Rusty wanted to know. She made them wait. "I think," she began, drawing on her father's showmanship, "I think I'll call you Lonnie." "Uncle Lonnie," Rusty corrected. "Excuse me, gentlemen, but Smokey's message about forest fires ended about 2 minutes ago. There might be some lonely truckers wondering what happened to me." "So am I," she added, giving the young stranger a look she had never used on radio. KILR